Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji, this is Kamodaki Dasi from Scottsville, Arizona. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kaumidiki Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your beautiful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Danat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vidita Gandharvika Devidas from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharika Devidasi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your beautiful services. All glories to your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati, Priya, Devi, Datme, Dandat Pranam, accept humble obeisances of His Purpose to Guru Maharaj. This is Sukhakar Krishnadas from Chennai.
Hare Krishna, Sukhakar Krishna Das Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining, and every single day you are getting so much very, very nice question for everyone. It connects. Hare Krishna. All glories
Thank
to
you,
you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Dandot pranams to you and all the devotees on this call. Mataji, this is Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Manmohan from India. Danvat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Manmohan Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining every single day and giving your beautiful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? Okay, so welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Before we start today's session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for February 8th. One who seeks pleasure externally, he is materialist. And one who seeks pleasure internally, he is spiritualist. Los Angeles, February 8, 1969. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
So today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji for Caitanya Bhagavat, topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, chapter number Madhya khanda, chapter number 53 to 77 verse. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us for the glories of our Mahaprabhu. I now hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. First and foremost, is my voice very clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Dandal Pranam at your feet. Thank you for hosting this call today. You are elderly and you're wise as well as senior in Bhakti. So please bless me so that I can speak something which is very, very sweet for our audience here. So I welcome each and every one to this Bhakti Sangha Japa group. Very happy to be back again and very happy to share some of the verses from our favorite scripture, Chaitanya Bhagavat, which we are seeing through the eyes of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. What a wonderful day, 150th year of birthday celebrations, and we are reading his work today. So I consider myself very fortunate, but I also pray at his lotus feet that he gives me at least one small ray of his mercy so that I can speak something which is fulfilling his purpose. So before we start looking at the verses for today, let's say the Mangalacharan and let's personally pray to His Holiness Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada to bestow us with all the wonderful mercy for us to understand the intricate purports of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So my dear devotees, welcome once again to Chaitanya Bhagavat, where we are discussing a very rasik chapter enjoyed by Saci Devi, Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We are right now biting into the most juiciest part of this pastime of this chapter. This chapter talks about the beautiful dream of Saci Matha. And now she is going to see that dream happen before her eyes. It is going to manifest before her eyes. And that is the pastime we are going to see. So the previous speakers on this forum, they have enlightened us how wonderfully Saci Matha had this dream. And this dream was not an ordinary dream. It was a very special dream. It was a dream where she saw Gaura Nitai enter into her altar and hold hands with Krishna and Balram. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he mentions that how Saci Matha was very wonderfully worshipping the deities. It's a very big gold standard that we can see through Saci Matha's worships. And now she has revealed her heart. She has revealed her heart to Gaur Sundar. And Gaur Sundar, when he heard, he was very happy. In fact, Gaur Sundar was listening in the adjacent room. Even Vishnu Priya Devi was listening. And Gaur Sundar said, I thought whenever bhoga was happening and whenever the bhoga was given to the Lord, the plates came half empty. So I thought Vishnu Priya was sneakingly eating it. Your daughter-in-law was eating it. The husband is saying the wife is eating it, but he says it through his mother, says that your daughter-in-law is eating it. And when Vishnupriya heard this, she didn't feel aggrieved. She didn't feel angry. She chuckled about it. She was laughing about this. And then she said, based on your dream, Gaur Sundar said that it seems to me that Krishna is eating it. The deities are eating it personally. So this is the success of life, serving our deities, taking care of them. So now the pastime comes to a place where Gaur Sundar said, this is so wonderful, we should have a great lunch together and we should invite Nityananda Prabhu. And when Gaur Sundar said like that, Mother Saci was ready to cook. She was ready with her enthusiasm to cook. And she was so pleased to hear these words coming from her son that she immediately, without wasting a moment, she was ready to serve. Such is the great attitude of serving the devotees. So here Mother Saci, she is gathering the ingredients for lunch. And at that time, what did Gaur Sundar do? This is what the verses we are going to see. So from text number 53 to 57, very wonderful verses have been spoken about. What did Gaur Sundar do at that time? Nityananda stane gela Prabhu Vishwambhara Nimantrana giyatane karila satvara Amara badite aji gosanira bhiksha Chanchalata nakaribe karaila shiksha Karanadhari Nityananda Vishnu Vishnu bale Chanchalata kare yata pagala sakale Ye bhujiye more tumi vasah chanchala Apanara mara tumi dekhala sakala Ettabale dui jane hasite Krishna kata kahi kahi aila badite. Such beautiful verses. What happened when Gaur Sundara or Vishwambar, when he went to Nityananda Prabhu's residence? It is mentioned that Vishwambar quickly went to Nityananda Prabhu's residence and he went in and he quickly invited him for lunch. He said, "O Gosai, today you are invited to my house. Today you should take lunch at my house, but with a condition." And Nityananda Prabhu was looking at Vishwambar. What is the condition? I have been invited to lunch, but what is the condition that Vishwambar is keeping? He said, I am telling you beforehand, do not create any mischief. Right? This is how friends are. The great friends know each other inside out. They know what their friends are thinking. They know what their friend is about to do. Once I was hearing a joke, and that joke was very wonderful. A person came to a class and he asked a question. The teacher asked, how do you define good friends? How do you know two friends are good or best friends? At that time, a student stood up and said, a best friend is a person who knows what I am thinking, what I like, what I dislike. So the teacher said, very good. That is a good definition. Anybody else? And another student got up and said, best friend are those who help us when we are in difficulty. So if I did some mischief and I was caught, the best friend is the one who will come and relieve me of that difficulty. He will help me when things are going wrong, when things are going south, when things are actually not happening how I want it to happen. Such are great friends. The teacher said, okay, very good. Anybody else? A third student stood up and he said, actually, both the previous definitions are just good friends. I will tell you the definition of best friend. He said, teacher, yes, tell me. What is the definition of best friend? The best friend is that person who will be always with me. Even if I get into difficulty and I am put in the jail, my best friend will be next to me and he will say, I told you, we will get caught. I told you, we should not go there. I told you, we should not do this act. He is the one who actually agrees with me. The teacher started laughing. So here, though not to be taken literally, here the third student emphasized the quality of understanding the other person completely. That supported the other person, the other friend completely. So understanding each other's heart is very important. And here, Nityananda Prabhu and Gaurang Mahaprabhu, they know each other's heart. So he's saying, Oh Gosai, oh Nityananda Prabhu, don't create any mischief. Don't create any mischief. And at that time, Nityananda Prabhu held his ears and said, Vishnu, Vishnu, as if saying that, oh, I don't do anything. Oh, Krishna, I don't do any mistakes. Oh, Vishnu, I don't do any mistakes. Why are you actually asking me? I'm a very naive boy. I am a very sweet boy. I am a person who never creates any mischief. This is called as saying something and actually acting something else. We all know Nityananda Prabhu was very mischievous and he will do many activities which are mischievous. So here he is saying, Vishnu, Vishnu, only madmen create mischief. And everybody thought in Madhya that who was the madman? Nityananda Prabhu was the madman. So here he is agreeing that I am so transcendentally mad after Krishna that sometimes I do mischief. So he's saying only madmen do mischief. So this is like saying both the words are truth. He's saying Vishnu, Vishnu, only madmen create mischief. So that means I create mischief and I am transcendently mad. And he's saying, I am not mad, I won't do mischief because you have asked me to do. So this is like saying yes and no together. So very few people can understand the heart of Nityananda Prabhu. And then he immediately says, I think you consider me a mischief monger because you think everyone is like yourself. Now, Nityananda Prabhu is turning the tables. And Nityananda Prabhu is immediately saying, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you think you have the vision of yourself. Everybody knows Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you are the mischief. You are the one who conducts all the mischief. When the Panditas used to go and take bath, you used to pull their legs in Ganges. Sometimes you used to be so mischievous. With Kolavecha Sridhar, you used to be mischievous. With your mother, you used to be mischievous. So everybody knows that you are mischievous. And you think that I am like you? And in this way, they were joking with each other. And when they were joking and they were smiling, they began to laugh. They both knew they were both culprits of their own mischiefs. And this was not a laugh only of the mischiefs that they had done in the past. Now the laugh was also the snickering laugh of what are all the mischiefs they are going to do now with Saci Matha. So sometimes people laugh with a thought of what is going to come next. Sometimes people laugh thinking of the mischief they have done and nobody has identified yet. So, but this is a very constant, very wonderful juncture of smile. And the smile can communicate so many things. Just like when I say, when Hanuman met Lord Ramchandra and Hanuman was going on speaking to Lord Ramchandra that who he is, he was trying to understand, he was trying to get the truth out of Lord Rama. Lord Rama just smiled and said, do you think that I am going to break my imperial protocol and speak to you? Hanuman was so lost at that smile that he broke open the band of secrets, the pot of secrets, where he was disguised. But he said, actually, I am a Vanara and I have tucked my tail and I have put a rubber band around it and I have tucked it inside as a disguise. But my name is Hanuman and I am coming on behalf of Sugriva. So please tell me what is your intention. And Rama is further looking at Lakshmana and smiling, and Lakshmana is smiling back to him. And both of the brothers were thinking, We didn't even speak a word, and this monkey has actually given us the real reason of why he is here. So these two brothers, they have a long distant past. In the Treta Yuga, they were Rama and Lakshmana. And now, as Gaur and Sundar in the Kali Yuga, they are immediately looking at each other and smiling, and they're saying they do not know what is going to come next. They have no clue. Saci Matha has no clue that what is going to happen next. So let us go to Gaur Sundar's house, Vishwambar's house, and have lunch. And thinking in this way, and while discussing about Krishna, they were moving back to Vishwambar's house. And imagine the happiness that is going to be bestowed to Saci Matha. Saci Matha is eagerly looking forward, right? And they were eagerly walking towards Saci Mata's home. This is the Lord's enthusiasm. Here we can see in these verses the exchange of perfect enthusiasm, lalsa. One, the devotee is very enthusiastic to serve the Lord, always. He wants to serve. He wants to find opportunity to call other lordships, deities to their house and serve the deities, take care of the deities. And on the other side, the Lord is very eager to serve the devotees. And he wants to participate. He wants to take the service from the devotees and he wants to relish in that rasa. So here we see the Lord moving very eagerly, the lordships moving very eagerly towards Saci Mata's house. And they were discussing about Krishna. And at the other side, when the camera pans on the other side, Saci Mata is engaged completely in cooking for their lordships. Because she just came to see the dream, the wonderful dream, where Kanai, Balai, Krishna, Balaram, Gaur and Nitai, she saw all the four of them together. What a wonderful darshan. Treta and Kali Yuga's darshan, Dwapara Yuga's darshan and Kali Yuga's darshan together. And here, Vrindavan Das Thakur is going to bring Treta Yuga also. So he is going to ensure 3 yugas are getting darshan in the next few verses. We are going to get darshan of Kanai Balai, we are going to get darshan of Ram and Lakshman, we are going to get darshan of Gaur Sundar and Nityananda Prabhu. So in this way, they were very happy and they were moving together. How did they go? They are always happy. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Hasiya Vasila Eka Thani Dui Jana Gadadara Adiyara Parampata Gana. They both smiled. They sat down together, accompanied by their intimate associates like Gadadhar. Now more people joined in the fun. Gadadhar Pandit came. And then once Gadadhar Pandit came, what happened? Ishana Dilena Jala Duite Charana Nityananda Sange Gela Karite Pojana. Now they have reached Saci Mata's house. Ishana, he gave water and he washed the feet. And then Lord Nityananda, he went to eat lunch. And the Lord and Nityananda they both went to eat lunch. Now lunch had been prepared and it was being served to them. And what was the mood in which they were eating? It was like Kausalya Mata was giving these food to Ram and Lakshman. And this I am not saying, this Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Vasilena dui Prabhu karite bhojana Kaushalyara ghare yena Sri Rama Lakshmana. Kausalyena ghare yena Sri Rama Lakshmana. Just like in Mother Kausalya's palace, Rama and Lakshmana would sit together and Kausalya would feed them. And in that way, they were enjoying these foodstuffs. The lordship enjoying the foodstuffs is a great pastime in Ramayana. Of course, in Balya Leela of Ram Lalla, it is not much mentioned that how he enjoyed his childhood pastimes. Valmiki keeps it very short in his Valmiki Ramayana. But nevertheless, we get another wonderful place where we get to see how Ram and Lakshman enjoyed the foodstuffs. Who served them the foodstuffs? Can anybody in the participant tell me who has given the lordships some food to eat? Anybody? can guess Ramayana and tell me?
Shabari gave some food to him.
Shabari has given. Correct. And who was Shabari?
She was a Shabara woman. I mean,
She was a Shabara woman.
she was
And
disciple of Mathanga Muni.
absolutely right. So she was a very old disciple of Mathanga Rishi. Matanga. This means that the cloud which is fully equipped with rain showers. In other words, in spiritual way, if we understand that Matanga Rishi, a great sage, a great preceptor, he was fully resplendent with showers of mercy to his disciples. So Matanga was such a great personality, and he used to stay near the Pampa lake. So when Ram and Lakshman, when they crossed and they reached the Pampa lake, Kabanda had told them that you should go to Shabari's ashram. And Kabanda had mentioned that Shabari, a very old woman, a disciple of Matanga Rishi, has been waiting for many, many years. And she is a very sublimated yogi. And she, every day, she looks out of her dodgy hermitage, and she just looks out with her material eyes, which is foggy in nature, which is hazy in nature. Because of the age, it is going down in its vision. She just waits for one moment when she can hear the footsteps of Lord Ram and Lord Lakshman. And when Kabanda said this way, Ram and Lakshman started walking towards Shabari's ashram. It is very important for us at this stage to see how there is parallelism. There is parallelism of how here it is mentioned that they ate food in Kausalya's house, but I'm just taking the virtue of also narrating how the Lord enjoys foodstuffs when it is given by his devotees. So Shabari's ashram was a distance away from the Kabanda's place and where Kabanda was killed, and Rama and Lakshmana walked through those moorlands, walked through those mountains, and they finally reached towards the west side of the lake called as the Pampa Lake. And from the distance, they could see a very old hermitage. And in the hermitage outside, he could see an old sublimated yogin, and she was standing there, and her eyes were full of tears of joy because finally that day arrived. How difficult was this day? It was very, very difficult for this day to arrive. This yogin was a disciple of Matanga Rishi. And every day she used to do very menial services around the ashram of Matanga Rishi. She used to pick up the leaves. She used to sweep the floor. She used to arrange the articles needed for worship. She used to pluck the flowers and fruits for the yajna. She used to take care of the grass, and she used to dry them and make it kusha grass, which will become darba. She used to tie the threads and make nice sacred threads for the yajna. She used to serve in menial way possible for all the sages who used to live there. And now, because of her service, Matanga Rishi said, I'm very happy with your service. All the sages blessed her and said, wait till Rama and Lakshmana comes here. They come here. You have to serve them. And after that, you will come back to us. So she thought that my sages, my preceptors, my spiritual master's words will never go wrong. So she was waiting every day. But the problem was the spiritual master neither gave a date, neither gave the yuga, neither gave the time, neither gave a fleeting reference of how they will come, how they will look, nothing. So she had a complete blank statement that they will come and you have to serve them. When was not mentioned. How was not mentioned. So she had a very tough task. Every day she will go out and she will think, today they will come. And when they come, she knows that he is the Lord of Lords. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because that's what the spiritual masters have told her. And hence, she would think, if he walks by this path, he should have flowers in his way. And she will see that sometime later in the afternoon, the flowers would have fallen from the trees. So she will immediately pick those flowers, thinking, if in the evening Ram and Lakshman comes and this flower is not on the branch, how will they manage? They will not be happy seeing a branch without the flowers. So she will use the thread and she will tie the flowers back to the branch. And it will be so nicely tied that nobody will be able to find out that somebody has tied these flowers which have fallen down back on the branch. It will be blooming. It will be with beautiful bouquet of flowers. Imagine tying like this on every branch, on every tree and every bush, every day, 3 times a day. This was the dedication of Shabari and eagerness of Shabari to see the Lord. But on that day, he will not come. Then she will go out, pluck best of fruits. And we all have heard that how Shabari had eaten the bear and given it to Lord Ram. But Valmiki does not mention it like that. Even Ramcharitmanas does not mention it like that. Ramcharitmanas, in a very good chaupai, it says, Chak chak kar fal Shabari lai, Param sahit khaye Raghurai, ऐसे मीठे नहीं है आम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम. Chak chak kar fal Shabari lai. So here it is said that she chak kar. Chak kar means she tasted the fruits. What does that mean? She didn't taste the fruits and gave it to Lord Ram. She went to those trees and she plucked one fruit. She tasted it to see if this branch of this tree and these fruits are ripe or not. They are tasty or not. If they are tasty, she threw that away. She washed her hands and she plucked the rest of the fruits and put it in a basket. What does that mean? Once you taste a sample to get to know how tasty it is. So she tasted each branch of fruit to see how tasty they are. Chak chak kar fal Shabari lai, Param samhit prema sahit khaye Raghurai. So Raghurai, the Lord Ramchandra, he ate those wonderful fruits. So how did she give those fruits? She didn't give it to him immediately. So when Lord Ram came, she immediately folded her hands. And just like how Gaur Sundar and Nityananda Prabhu were worshipped by Ishana, Shabari also worshipped Ram and Lakshman. She braced the feet of Lord Ram. She touched the feet of Lord Lakshman. She gave mouthwash. She gave achaman. She gave feet wash. And she gave various wines. She gave various food particles. And she gave these wonderful bear as well. And this is how she welcomed. And Lord Ram was very happy. We should welcome great personalities in this particular way. We should welcome them in this particular way. We should welcome them so that they feel happy in our midst. So when Shabari actually welcomed them in this way, Lord Ramchandra immediately asked, looking at Shabari. He asked a very simple question. Kachitte nirjita vigna, kachitte vardate tapa, kachitte niyata kopa, ahara chattapodhane. And again he uses this word, kachitta. And this word is most important in today's lecture. In fact, Rama even asked, Kachitte tiya niyama prapta kachitte manasas sukham kachitte guru shushusha safalacharubhashinim. Kachitta. He asks this word called kachitta. What is kachitta? It is not very affirmative, but it is like a rhetorical question. Maybe, isn't it? This is what it means. Kachitta means maybe, isn't it? So Lord Ram is asking in a very questionable tone. He's looking at Shabari after she has worshipped him, welcomed him. He is asking, Kachitte nirjita vigna. He's saying, maybe all your deterrents in your asceticism are completely overcome by you. He's saying, maybe, I think so. I'm not sure, isn't it? You have won over all the deterrents. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya. You have won over all the deterrents. Kachitte nirjita vignaha. Kachitte vardate tapaha. It seems to me, maybe, isn't it? Again, Ramchandra is asking. Kachitte vardate tapaha. Maybe your ascetic practices are coming to a complete end, isn't it? Kachitte niyata kopaha. Maybe all your anger, annoyance with all these delay are also coming to an end, isn't it? Look at the way Lord Ram is asking questions, perfectly understanding the mood of Shabari. And then he's asking, Aharachatta bodhane kachitta. Maybe all your ailments, because you are eating very, very less, you are collecting all these fruits for us, and you are not eating yourself. You are doing a great tapasya. So maybe all the ailments that you have got, that is also coming to an end. And then he says, Kachitte niyamaha prapta. Have your commitments come to an end? Maybe, isn't it? Or Kachitte manasa sukham. Maybe your mind is and your heart is completely pleased. Maybe. I do not know. Isn't it? Maybe. And finally he says, Kachitte guru shushrusha safala. Maybe you have given very nice service to your mentors and that has given some fruit. He's eating the fruit and he's asking about the fruit. Maybe your service to your mentors have borne some fruit. Maybe, isn't it? So this is very wonderful to understand that Lord Ramchandra is using these words, maybe, isn't it? And if we draw parallels behind, this is what Saci Matha actually told to Vishwambar. Maybe, isn't it? I actually am not sure. There was a dream where you were there, Krishna was there, Balram was there, you both were eating, you both were sharing butter. Maybe it is a dream, isn't it? And here also it is the same, maybe, isn't it? Sometimes devotees are perplexed, but here the Lord is asking in a very wonderful tone, maybe, isn't it? Just to expose how great the devotee Shabari is. And she's saying, oh, speaker, oh, best of the speaker, what do you think? Maybe, isn't it all this, what I said, your asceticism, your ailments, your annoyances, your tapa, your dedication to your spiritual master, everything is coming to an end, isn't it? At that time, Shabari speaks very beautiful words while he is eating prasadam. And she takes the help of Lakshmana as well. Because in this verse in Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is mentioned how both of them are having fruit and are listening and are enjoying themselves. So here, Shabari says very beautifully, Adya prapta tapas siddhi tava sandarshanat maya adya me safalam janma guruva sapujita. Indirectly, she is saying, Adya prapta tapas siddhi. Now I have achieved everything. Sadarshanaat maya. I have seen you, hence I have achieved everything, Rama. Safalam janma guruvaha. Like how my preceptors said, my spiritual masters said, my life is completely sanctified and is complete. And it is to be glorified because I have seen you. This is what Shabari is saying. But the indirect meaning, what Shabari is saying is, my dear boy Ram Lalla, already you are late. I have been waiting for you for many, many years. This is the motherly affection that Shabari has. She's saying, already you are late. And then you are asking me, is everything that I am giving to you, is it sanctified? Is it fresh? I go every day outside and pluck fresh fruits. Though you are like the fresh rain cloud, you have come to me after so many days. So delay has not affected you. You are still fresh. And you are asking me, everything is sanctified? Let me tell you, I have nothing else to do. In fact, I'm too bored to stay in this place. I am withered in my body. I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Ram asks, oh, you want emancipation? You want liberation? You want to get out of the cycle of birth and death? Shabari says, no. I want to go back to my spiritual master. Because my spiritual master said, I will come back to them, to serve them. So Ram says, oh, I think that your spiritual master Matanga Rishi is not having maid servants to serve him wherever he is. Is that why you want to go back? Shabari says, no, 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 no. In fact, I need them more than they need me. This is the thought process of a perfect disciple. And many of our Prabhupada's disciples have exhibited the same mood. We would like to go to a place where Prabhupada is preaching right now. I would like to be part of that. Why? Because I would like to be part of this movement wherever my spiritual master is propagating this message. This is the same message Shabari is giving. I want to go back to my spiritual master because I need them more than they need me. Because they are like the Paras Pattar, they can touch anyone and they can make them perfect disciples. But I need them. For me to exist in this world, I need them. Oh, I understand. Then Rama says, is it because you are staying here because they told you that I am God? Shabari said, I don't know whether you are God or not God. But I know by your Rupa, Bhava, and the way of speaking, I know you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do you know how I know? Ram says, how do you know? Because my master's instruction, my spiritual master's instruction is the first God that I know. They told me that you will come and you have come. So before God, the person who showcases the instruction that leads us to God is more important. Leads us to the Lord is more important. So for me, my master's instruction is God-like. And they asked me to say, right? But Ram said, you are speaking very nicely. Surva Bhashani. Huh? You're saying it very, very wonderfully in sweet words. I asked you many questions. Kachitta, Kachitta, Kachitta. What do you have to say about that? Shabari is now answering each question. She's saying the service to Guru is fulfilled. Yes, all my annoyance and ailments are finished because you are going to relieve me of this cycle of birth and death. You are going to remove me from this material existence. I'm going to get liberation because I saw you face to face. My teacher said, you are unknowable. Even by Vedas, even by studying Vedas, one cannot know the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But I have known you because you have come in front of me and you have eaten fruits. You have eaten the bhoga from my hands. So I have known everything. So that learning is also culminated. So that kachitta, maybe isn't it your knowledge is coming to an end? Yes, the knowledge has come to an end. My Guru's instructions have borne fruit. That has come to an end. And my existence, you asked, maybe isn't it coming to an end? Yes, it has come to an end. But what about Shastric studies? Are you still studying Shastras? She said, yes. Even that has come to an end because I have seen one who is to be known by all the Shastras is standing before me. By knowing the Shastras, I have to know none other than the Lord and his servant Lakshmana, and both are standing before me. And Ram says, oh, you speak as if you have been very good student of Matanga. He might have taught you some Vedic Shastras. Can you tell me some shlokas where this aspect is explained? Then she scratches her head. She's like, oh, I don't remember the shlokas. And she looks at Lakshmana. And Lakshmana is smiling. And he's Adi Guru. He knows all the shlokas. And now Guru is being tested. By whom? Lord Ramchandra. And so when Guru is tested, how can he let go of that Guru Tattva? So she looks at Lakshmana and says, my preceptors told me some shlokas. I don't remember. Lakshmana, do you remember? Can you help me? I'm a very old lady. I don't remember. Immediately, Lakshmana speaks Shvetavatsara Upanishad. He says, Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru tasya eta kahita hi artha prakashante mahatmana iti. He says, Shvetavatsara Upanishad 6:23. He says very clearly, Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru. For a noble soul who has devotion in God has an equal devotion to his spiritual master. To such a noble soul, all truths manifest themselves. And Lord Ram is very happy. So this is how she actually welcomed the Lord. She served the Lord. And the Lord said, I would like to see this beautiful hermitage of yours. And she took the Lord around and she showed the place and she showed everything and she explained each place of each place of worship in that Yajna-shala. She said, this is where Matanga Rishi used to sit. This is where all the other rishis used to offer flowers. In this way, she said all these beautiful things. And Lord Ram was saying that all these places, that means you were accessible to all these places. Imagine many people today speak about so many different classes of people are not allowed in temples. They say the different caste of people are not allowed in temples. And we are seeing the example of the Shabara woman who had access to all the Yajna-shalas of such great sages in Treta Yuga. So who is more liberal? Which Yuga is more liberal? Kali Yuga or Treta Yuga? Treta Yuga was more liberal because she had access to every place. And she was going and explaining. When Ramchandra went to Agastya Muni's ashram, he had to wait outside 2 hours because some places were inaccessible to the tour guide. And he was waiting for Agastya to come and introduce those places. But look at Shabari's ashram. She was very easily explaining each and every place because she had access to those lakes. And she said, look at this Pampa lake. It is most glorious. You can take bath here. And Rama asked, why is this Pampa lake so glorious? She said, all these sages, they never used to have so much of energy because they were fully in tapasya. They never had the energy to go to a lake or to go to a sea to take bath. So they requested all the 7 seas to come to the Pampa lake. So the Pampa lake actually has the amalgamation of all the 7 seas. Considering taking bath in the seas is considered a greater merit than taking bath in a river, than taking bath in a copper vessel, than taking bath in a steel vessel, and there is no mention of a shower or a bathtub. So we can think about how meritorious we are when we are taking a shower. So greatest benefit is when we are taking bath in the sea. Or of course, we in our parampara know taking bath in Radha Kund, Sham Kund, etc. or Yamuna or Ganga. So all these sages, they used to bring the 7 seas into the Pampa lake and they used to take bath. And like this, she mentioned everything. But the important thing was she fed the Lord very nicely. And they all sat down. And the mood in which the 2 lords sat eating together resembled that of Sri Rama and Lakshmana. Though here it is mentioned as fed by Kaushalya, I took the liberty to explain how the Lord ate from the hands of Shabari, who was like a mother to them. In the forest, with less amenities, she still pleased the Lord. Hey Mata Dui Prabhu Karaye Bhojana, Sei Bhava, Sei Prema, Sei Dui Jana. In this way, the 2 lords ate their lunch in the same mood, with the same affection as the same persons. What did they do after eating? They started getting served by Mother Saci even more. As Mother Saci happily served them, she set out 3 plates by mistake and they both began to laugh. So Saci Matha, she was arranging the plates. Instead of 2, she arranged 3. And when they arranged 3, they both started to laugh because now the mischief was going to begin. And when she returned to serve them more, she directly saw them as 5-year boys, just like how she saw them in the dream. She saw Gaur and Sundar as 5-year-old boys, and they were sitting before 3 plates. They had only 2 plates, but they were sitting between 3 plates. And seeing the 3 plates and seeing Mother Sachi's love, they started to laugh. And Saci Mata came and started serving them more and more food. And when she saw their face, they were 2 enchanting boys, just like how Kaushalya would see Ram and Lakshman. 2 enchanting, beautiful boys. Krishna Shukla Varna Dekhe Dui Manohara, Dui Jana Chaturbhuja, Dui Digambara. She saw 2 enchanting boys, one with a whitish complexion and other was blackish. Both had 4 arms. Both were naked. 5-year-old boys with 4-handed forms. Now we all know in Srimad Bhagavatam, only in very special places, the Lord shows 4 hands to his Chaturbhuja, to his devotees. Now I'll ask those places, can anyone tell me which are those places where the Lord shows 4-handed form? Can anyone tell me? Which is the first?
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Dhruva
Narayana
Maharaj.
to Dhruva
Dhruva
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Narayana to Dhruva Maharaj. Okay. Now my question is, Wherever Narayana is present, there will be 400 form. But this question is very special because Krishna is in two-handed form, or Gaur Sundar is in two-handed form, but he manifests two extra hands for his devotees. So that is the question.
Vrindavan,
Where in Vrindavan?
Nandagram.
Nandagram, can you tell me the pastime?
That Brahman came, devotee, and
Okay.
he was, then Nanda Maharaj said, usually, they don't accept from the Vaishyas food, so
Okay.
then the Brahmana cook themselves.
Okay.
So Nanda Maharaj supplied rice and everything, whatever is necessary,
Mm-hmm.
and then Brahman cooked. And then after cooking, he was offering to Krishna. So then he had his eyes closed and he was
Yes.
offering. So Krishna Lala comes and starts eating. Oh, then he opened the eye and he saw, oh, this is a Vaishya child. He's lower and he's eating this. He's ruined my bhoga for the Lord.
Yes. Yes,
So
Mataji. Okay.
the same time happened second time, and the third time Krishna revealed to him. Because everybody was sleeping, so he revealed to him and showed him his form. Go, 400 form.
Okay. Wonderful. So Krishna showed his four-handed form. Very nice. Any other pastime? Where for the
Prabhuji,
devotee? Yes.
Haribol Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, when Aswathama was brought, and Draupadi said that you should not be killed, but Bhim did not agree. That's the
Yes.
place where, Lord Krishna exhibited four arms. And once in a Dwarka, when Rukmini was being teased by Lord Krishna, she fainted. And that's
Very
the
nice.
time also he became
One at a
Chaturanga.
time. Let's give the chance to many other devotees.
Okay,
You are absolutely
Haribol
right.
Prabhuji.
When Ashwatthama is about to attack, Bhima and Arjuna were going, and he took out his two hands extra and stopped them. In first canto Bhagavatam we see. Very good. And then also Prabhuji spoke about Rukmini when she was about to faint and fall down, hearing the teasing of Lord Krishna. In the Krishna book it is mentioned, and also in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna had two extra hands and he immediately caught hold of Rukmini. That is out of intense love. Again a Chaturbuja form. More.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Like
Yes.
gopis were looking for Krishna, 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 and Lord Vishnu came and they were asking to Lord Vishnu, "Have you seen Krishna?" And which way he go? And he showed, and then Radharani came in front of Vishnu, and his two hands fell down.
Exactly. Srimad Radharani, absolutely right. Nakhalu Gopika Andano Bhavan, Akhila, they Antaratmadrik. You are like a Paramatma with the four hands, say the gopis. And he showed his four-handed form. More, it's very important to know these Chaturbuja pastimes. Where the Lord.
Prabhuji, Mayapur.
Where in
Mayapur.
Mayapur? Okay, Gaur Sundar exhibited, but anyway, any place where Krishna, we're talking about Krishna exhibiting his four-handed form.
Prabhuji, like to kill Paundrak Vasudev also at that time, he was already like depicting like Krishna. So while he was like killing him, he exhibited like you want the chakra, right? And he released his chakra.
Yes, okay, fine. Any other?
Bhishma.
Bhishma, absolutely right. Before Bhishma, I was actually going to leave his body. Krishna showed the four-handed form. Another place, most favorite place where he showed, right when he was born to Devaki and Vasudev, he showed the four-handed form. So when
In
he
the
was
prison
appearing,
house.
in the prison house. And
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra, also in the Vishwarupa, he actually showed his four-handed form. So Krishna actually manifests these two hands extra to his very special devotees. And when he is very want to bestow the ultimate mercy, and Gaur Sundara is doing the same thing. He showcased, and Nityananda Prabhu also showcased their four-handed form. Both had four arms and both were naked. And in Treta Yuga also, when Hanuman saw Lord Ramchandra and Lakshman, he saw them with four-handed forms. Bahavaha parigopama, says Valmiki Ramayana. Bahavaha. He did not have Bahu, he had Bahavaha. So, and what did those four hands have? Shanka Chakra Gada Padma Srihala Mushala Srivatsa Kaustuba Dekhe Makara Kundala. She saw the Lord had conch, disc, club, lotus, plow, musala, the mark of Srivatsa, the Kaustuba gem, and their ears were decorated with shark-shaped earrings. These are the markings of the Lord. And she saw her own daughter-in-law in the chest of her son. And after a second, the whole scene disappeared. So she saw the beautiful, radiant 5-year-old boys, and after a second, it all disappeared. And a daughter-in-law was Vishnu Priya, and she was on the chest of the boys, and she saw this only for one moment. So Krishna, even to the greatest of devotees like Saci Matha, he shows these glimpses for just a moment, and that moment can last forever in the hearts of the devotees. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes, the first line of this verse indicates that she saw Lakshmi Devi on the chest of Sri Krishna. In the Padma Purana, it is stated, after seeing the beauty of Krishna, Lakshmi was so attracted to him and began to perform austerities. Do you know the place where she performs austerities till date in Vrindavan? What is the name? Belwan. Absolutely right. There is a temple in Belwan where she is still performing austerities. And Krishna asked her, for what is the reason that you are performing these austerities? And she said, I want to become a gopi and enjoy your company in Vrindavan. But Krishna said, this is very rarely attained. So Lakshmi said, oh my Lord, but then I wish to remain on your chest in the form of golden lines. So the Kaustuba gem, behind the Kaustuba gem, there are Srivatsa mark, and in there are golden lines. And Krishna said, Tathastu, let it be so. And from that day, she is there as the golden lines on his chest. And that's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. And after she saw, Saci Matha saw this beautiful form, this moment, she fell to the ground unconscious. Her clothes became wet with tears. This is the feeling of gratitude. And all the rice which she was carrying to serve in not in the 2 plates, but in the 3 plates, it all fell down. And on seeing this wonderful sight, Saci Matha forgot that she was Saci Matha. It was Gaur Sundar, it was Vishwambar, it was Nityananda. She fell down. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he mentions very nicely that materialists, and that is the same. In fact, we should read this statement and we should read today's Prabhupada's quote again. According to the materialists, everything is within the realm of knowledge achieved through sensual perception. And since ordinary people have no qualification for perceiving transcendental subject matter, they are unwilling to repose their faith in them. So here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is differentiating between who is a materialist and who is a spiritualist. And today, Srila Prabhupada, what is he mentioning? He is mentioning the same quote for today. What is the quote? One who seeks pleasure externally, which is sense perception, which is same as what his spiritual master is saying, is a materialist. And one who seeks pleasure internally, he is a spiritualist. The same verse, what Srila Prabhupada is quoting the same words of his spiritual master. So what we are getting here is sublime knowledge. And what acharyas are providing here are sublime knowledge. And these are very high pastimes, but we can meditate. We can pray that one day we get to see these pastimes by following in the footsteps of the great acharyas. So, athe vyathe mahaprabhu achamana kari gaye hata diya janani re tale dhari. So immediately, because Saci Matha fell down, they also had love towards Saci Matha. So they both hurried and they got up and they held Saci Matha and they said, please get up. Calm yourself down. You are crying so much. You are wetting yourself. Your clothes are getting wet because of your tears, because of the gratitude. Can you tell me why you fell down? As if they do not know anything. And when she regained her consciousness, She quickly tied her hair because her hair had dissolved, and she did not say anything. This is another great symptom of devotees who have seen the Lord face to face, or they have realized the Lord in their heart. They keep quiet. They do not go and publicize, because this is a private victory. This is a private victory in the heart, and that is much more wonderful than a public victory. And she wept, and she thanked the Lord from the bottom of her heart that he has given this darshan to her. And she wept again and again. She breathed very heavily. Her entire body trembled, and she was filled completely with satisfied with ecstasy. And nothing else came to her mind apart from that repeated vision. Kunti Maharani also says that this is the vision I get again and again. But the rice was still scattered on the floor. Then Ishana, he came, he cleaned the entire room, honored all the remnants. And here Vidyandas Thakur says he's the most fortunate person. Why is he most fortunate person? Because the rice he was collecting was the remnants. And it was touched by Saci Matha, who has seen such a divine darshan. So it is remnants of the remnants of the remnants of the great devotee. And he is hence the most fortunate person, because he served his entire life serving Saci Matha. And not only Saci Matha, even Vishnu Priya Devidas. And hence he became most fortunate among the fortunate servant of the Lord. So serving the servants of the Lord is the greatest fortune. And here he mentions that such pastimes happened every day, and such pastimes are known only for the confidential servants of the Lord. Marmi Bhritya is explained as follows: being averse to the service of the Lord, foolish materialists wander throughout the world trying to enjoy. These are the pastimes to enjoy. Materialists try to enjoy with sense perception, but devotees enjoy the katha of the Lord, and they enjoy these narrations. They are incapable of entering into the external world and unfolding their mysterious truths. The materialists cannot understand what joy it is there in spiritual truths. And what is the joy in being a confidential servant of the Lord? Nobody can understand what joy Shabari faced. Hence she called the Lord as Purusharbha. She called he's the bull amongst the men, because he is bullish in his tasks to destroy all the atrocities. He is bullish in destroying the 6 avarices of the heart. He is also the tilaka of the mankind. And such pastimes give solace to the heart. So each and every topic is like nectar. And this Madhya khanda is filled with such pots of nectar. And what happens when we drink this nectar? Atheism, the disease of atheism is gone, because direct perception, direct visual, pratyaksha, one can see the Lord and his pastimes in front of them. Madhya khanda katha yena amrutera bhanda yata katha sunile guche antara pashanda. The whole pashanda finishes off. And finally, he says, in this way, Gaurachandra and the devotees engaged in chanting the holy name in Navadvipa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What can we say about the pastimes? What can we say about the nectar, apart from just talking about the holy names, chanting about the holy names? Nam, Roop, Leela. These 3 are non-different. And this can be realized when we chant the holy names. So I request all the devotees that they read such nectarian truths on such beautiful days like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance days, the 150th anniversary, and it enables us to gain more closer to the Lord and his devotees. It also enables us to read the Shastras with the light of the current Acharyas, because they mention nothing but what the previous Acharyas have mentioned. And it also enables us to come closer to Srila Prabhupada who has given us this wonderful society of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, where we have such forums like Bhakti Sangha Japa group, where we can discuss, enjoy, speak, ask questions, and at the same time relish the pastimes of the Lord. Thank you very, very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidhvam satpurayantu tat. Yadatra saushtubam kinchit tad gurur eva me nahi. If there are any good things that were narrated during this lecture, all the shreyas, all the shrey, all the glories go to my spiritual master, His Holiness Indudimna Swami Maharaj. All glories go to my spiritual masters, my Diksha Gurus, present audience, my seniors, elders, godbrothers, god sisters, Vaishnavas. And if there were any mistakes, which I think there were many, you are all Panditas, please correct them. And those mistakes are truly mine. Thank you very, very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, comments, critiques, feedbacks, we can definitely talk about them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhuji, I have a question because actually not question, but I missed something, whatever you talk about the parallelism like that. What is the parallelism?
Parallelism, what I want to talk is drawing parallels between the two stories. Like how here the poet is mentioning that they were sitting and eating, how Saci Matha was feeding them, which is a mother feeding their children, which is like same like how Kausalya was feeding Ram and Lakshman. So this is what parallelism, which I want to say. In parallel, if you see other yugas, same like that is happening. Just like how Mother Shabari, she was also feeding Lord Ramchandra in a very motherly, in a very affectionate Lord way, not in a Vatsalya mood, but definitely was how they were sitting and eating together is something that we can see. So that is how we speak about parallel. In drawing parallels from the story is what we say.
Such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. So beautiful. You always talk about Ramayana, but I like today's part, Shabari Matha, how she is so dedicated to serve the Lord and everything. And to Guru too, because she was always doing all services for his Guru, cleaning the floor and everything. So much. So how we should do the service to our Guru, whatever we see the instructions from our Guru, we have to follow. And then servants are always, servants of Lord is a most fortunate soul. So servant of Guru is also most fortunate, right? Prabhu, and serve to Vaishnavas. So very, very nice class today, Prabhuji. Do you have a time? So if
yes,
somebody
I can take questions. Yes. Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and each and every devotee present here. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I heard your lecture for the first time. Your name is so nice and your lecture is so wonderful. It was so enchanting. Prabhuji, I had 3 questions. Can I ask you 3 questions?
Sure.
Yes, Prabhuji, my first question was, you were talking about Ishan is very fortunate because he served Vishnu Priya Mata and Saci Matha for a very long time. So can you please enlighten me that who he was in the Krishna Leela?
That I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else can. I do not know the answer of it. We need to say Gaura Ganodesha Deepika to know who was Ishana in the previous life or in the previous Leela. I'm not aware. Is anybody on the call, any Pandita, they would know who he was? I'm not aware, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will refer to that book. Thank you, Prabhuji. And my one more question was, it's okay, Prabhuji, no problem. My second question was, what was the question? The 4-handed form which you were talking about, did Krishna showed 4-handed form to Yashoda Maiya also and Kamsa Maharaj while killing him?
Not to Yashoda that I can recollect, no. Only to Devaki.
Okay.
And to Kamsa, no.
No, he did not show him. Okay. Means he killed him with 2-handed form.
2-handed form.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. And my one more question was like in one shloka you were explaining that they had Saci Mata gave Nitai Gaur 3 plates, then they were laughing. So why did they laugh when she gave 3 plates?
So sometimes when
Can you?
people are so enamored by their activities, I think it's one more question. Shivani Mataji also, no, somebody else asked. Kirtana Sundari Mataji asked his question. Dandavat Mataji. So when somebody is enamored by the service and they're so happy, and it's also part nervous, part happiness. Like suddenly, if you open the door and your Guru Maharaj has come to your house, and and he's asking, please serve me, I am very hungry, then you don't know what. I mean, first of all, it is such a great fortune that Guru Maharaj has come home, or such a great devotee. Prabhupada has come home. So people do not know what to do. They are they're running into the kitchen. They're bringing sugar, but they bring salt. So they are like more enamored. They are so lost. Their senses are so lost because they are so much. They want to live the moment. They want to see the Lord, but they want to go inside, get the foodstuffs. They want to get a plate, but she bought 3 plates. So seeing all that, the Lord is just laughing. He said, okay, we are here. It's like meeting a celebrity. But meeting a celebrity, sometimes people forget where they are, what they do. But here it is meeting the Lord themselves. And being composed is not one of the qualities what a person will have when they see the Lord. And here Saci Mata saw the Lord and saw them as 5-year-old boys, and she was recollecting her dream as well. She just mentioned the dream, and in the next moment they were having lunch, and she was like, I can see some parallels between the dream. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And she's finding all that is coming together at a single point of time. And at that time, you are not connected to this world. So you might carry 2 plates, 3 plates. You might put the full plate, which is full of food for wash, the plates away, and you might give an empty plate. You're really not in your senses because you are guided by your supreme happiness, which is enacting in front of you. That is what is happening. It's a very, very high state. And it is not out of mistake. It is out of pure happiness, and what is happening, she's not able to process. That is my understanding.
Yes, it's very wonderful explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful answer and your wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. It was the Shabari part and everything was very enchanting, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Praladanand Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Very nice class. Always. You make Ramayana so interesting. Anyway, you were mentioning about the great fortune of Ishan, and I just remembered one incident when Srila Prabhupada's prasad somebody tasted unknowingly. And I think everyone knows this pastime, but I would like to just that Prabhupada Maharaj was traveling in an airplane, and he was served some prasadam, and the air hostess, out of this kind of curiosity, she took some little portion from Srila Prabhupada's plate and tasted it, and she said, "This is so nice." This woman belonged to Amazon region of South America, and sometimes devotee went into those jungles and found that Mata completely in Vaishnavi dress, and she was preaching Prabhupada Maharaj like that. Yeah. So you can see the effect of Mahaprasadam. An unknown woman just tasted like that, and she turned into a great Vaishnavi.
Yeah.
So this was really touching. Prabhu. Thank you very much again. Haribol.
Yes, it's a very wonderful pastime, Prabhu. And I remember one quote by Prabhupada. And the Prabhupada's servant, Shrutakirti Prabhu, was sitting next to Prabhupada when this pastime happened. And Shrutakirti Prabhu, they never used to imagine to take something out of Prabhupada's plate. So Shrutakirti Prabhu will look at Srila Prabhupada like this next to him. Whatever Srila Prabhupada would do, everybody will do. If Prabhupada opened the newspaper, they will open the newspaper. If Prabhupada read and kept and looked outside the window, they will all look outside the window. Whatever Prabhupada did, they will do it as it is. So when Prabhupada, he took the puffed rice, this muri, which he had, and he was popping one by one. And Prabhupada has this habit of popping one muri. And Shrutakirti Prabhu was watching. And Shrutakirti Prabhu mentions that only when Prabhupada gives, they will eat. So when Prabhupada eats, they will eat the Maha. So this lady, she came and she asked, what would you like to have? Would you like to have something? Said they are vegetarians. So Shrutakirti Prabhu will never answer back to the air hostess. They'll look at Prabhupada and Prabhupada would say, Prabhupada, would you like to have something? Prabhupada will say, fruit and milk, hot milk. And then he will look at the air hostess and say, fruit and hot milk. You heard my spiritual master. And she brought. At that time, Prabhupada made a very wonderful comment. She's a woman. So naturally, motherly tendency is there to serve. And that is the same thing we see today. Saci Matha has a natural tendency to serve. And she's a mother. She wants to serve the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada said, she's a mother. She's a woman. So this is a natural tendency to serve. And when she bought, and she said, this looks interesting. And she just took some muri and she popped into her mouth. And Shrutakirti Prabhu's jaw was on the floor. We can't do that. And Prabhupada didn't mind. He was continuing eating. Hare Krishna. So very nice pastime. Yes, thank you, Prabhupada, for sharing. Hare Krishna. Yes, any other questions, comments? Okay, none. So back to you, Mataji. Thank you so much for your questions and your patient hearing. Thank you for this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories.
All glories to you, Prabhuji, and your services. Today, you enlightening us very nicely and very, very sweet pastime for Ramayana and Saci Matha and Gaur Sundar and Nityanand Prabhu's pastime. I really love that, and we are very grateful to you. We look forward to your association again in future. Yes. And if nobody have any question and your permit, we will end the call.
Sure, Mataji.
Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Srila Caitanya Bhagavat ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.